How you going, guys? Bo again. Today I'm going to be playing around with my steering wheel. So as you can see, I've taken it off. Really important when you take it off that you take off your horn button. It's just these two screws either side of your steering wheel. Mine were a tech screw head, so you need the I've got my kit here, so you need all the specialty bits. A bit cramped in here. We're going to storm at the moment, so I'm sort of cramped about where I can work today. So I've got this nice kit here where it's got all your small specialty heads that you might come about when you're working on different cars from different areas and from different countries. So very good to have these, that way you're not going to get caught out with a screw or a bolt with a head that you don't have a piece for. So really good to get one of these kits. Good brand too, Stanley, pretty decent brand. I think this was about $180, so, and I've had this for about 6 or 7 years. You can see it's pretty, cloth is worn out. I've put it together a few times, the foam. But the important thing is, while you're working, as soon as you stop working with a tool, you just put it straight back in the box. That way you're never going to lose anything. So like I said, I've had this 6-7 years, maybe even a little bit longer, and haven't lost any tools, knock on wood. I am missing an 11, but I do know where that is. It's just in the boot. I was just using that just before. So great use to keep one of these. It doesn't have to be a Stanley. You can get the cheaper brands, but if you're going to be working on cars long term, it's definitely worth your money getting the brand name tools, because it does pay off in the end. Having to, because if you break one while you're working on something important, it really pisses you off. So having the good tools and being able to use them when you need them really pays off. So taking off the wheel. This does have a airbag attachment, but this airbag isn't actually connected. I just have the 2 wires that connect to this bolt here, which I've got spaced so that it doesn't quite reach the frame there, and the ground up here. So that connects to the horn. So I just use these 2 fittings here that go into here. Instead of the airbag attachment, they're just going to be put onto the right lugs on either side there. You can get a diagram online to find out which one it is to get the horn working. When you undo this nut, don't take it all the way off. Leave a couple of threads on, so that way when you wiggle the wheel, you don't pull it off and smack yourself in the face. You'll just pull it off, hit that nut, and then you can take the nut off and take the wheel off. So today I'm going to be retrimming this, because like I said before, this had this gross silver and pretty worn out area here, and I wanted it all black and all perforated. So I got this kit off eBay. A lot of them come with this red center marker that they have on racing wheels. I don't like that, so I specifically requested that they keep this black, so the whole wheel is black, and I think it looks a lot better. But the red stitching is going to match a lot the black and red theme I'm going for in this car. So I won't have it all on film, but I'll take pictures and put it on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to follow me on that. I have done this before on a different wheel, so I do have a bit of knowledge of how this goes. The first thing you need to do is test fit it. So it does seem a lot smaller than what it normally is for the wheel. You do have to really put one end on and sort of hold it with your knees and stretch it out and pull it onto the other end, and then get your distances for the 3 arms, making sure they all line up nicely. See, I've got to move mine to the left just a few millimeters. It's not quite lined up, so I'll be doing that. And then, but what I'm going to be doing on this one differently is I'm actually going to cut the old one off. So I'm going to follow this old stitching all the way around, cut that off, and then actually go straight onto the bare steering wheel. I didn't do that last time, and I found that the stitching over the stitching gives you quite a big hump along where this old stitching is. So I'm hoping cutting the old one off, putting this new one on is going to fit a bit snugger, because the last one had a it's pretty good. It didn't have much of a gap, but it had a little bit of a gap there, so when you pull it tight, it tightens up that gap, so it looks more like this standard stitching here, but in red. And so cutting this old one off is hopefully going to make it fit a bit flatter and feel a bit smoother in your palm when you've done that. You can see here with the stock one that goes on, it's going to be a pretty close match. This one's a bit shinier, but I'm sure once this one's worn in with your hands on it, it'll match fairly closely to what that is, to have a nice all-around perforated steering wheel. So like I said, I'll take photos, put it on my Instagram, and you can follow me as I do that. As I sort of do each section, I'll take a picture, and then maybe do a video when I've got the end product, and show me putting it back on, and you can all put in the comments what if you think it's an improvement, or you should have just stuck with the old one. Hopefully you'll like the improvement that I've done for this one here, and I think it's going to match quite nicely the theme that I'm going for in this car. You can see quite here my damaged dash. I'm hoping in the next week or two that's going to be coming out, and I'll either be repairing it or finding one to replace that one. Actually, the whole interior is coming out next week. I'm going to my friend's workshop and stripping the whole interior out and replacing the carpets, the floor mats, the dash, having a go at doing a small patch and testing if I can dye this liner black as well, so it'll be a full black interior here. Something else, if you've been following me on Instagram, you would have seen I finally finished my front bar to a fairly acceptable level and got it painted today. Did have to drive home in the rain, had to rush home before to try and beat the storm. But you can see here, certainly a lot better. Now it's got a coat of 2-pack black on. It's not quite the same color code, but it's a very, very close match. And once I give that a buff, I'm sure it'll come up a bit smoother and match the rest of the car, hopefully a little bit better. Rear lip's got to go on. I do have to heat that back up. It's still a little bit out of shape. As you can see, I've had it sitting leaning up against something, and it's stretched out, so I've got to pull it back into shape and get that bolted and finished, because it really needs it when you sit on the side. It's just disgustingly high, so it definitely needs that lip on, and I'll probably drop it down a couple of mil. I do have some new coilovers. My friend whose workshop I'm going to, Eugene, he does have some Vertex brand new coilovers off if you follow D1 Ueno, had the Vertex Sora. My friend Eugene used to be the Australian distributor for Vertex, so Ueno sent those coilovers, a couple of sets for him. He never got around to using him on his drift Sora over here, so I'm doing a trade for some parts off my 2J. My one's got billet Hypertune cam covers on it, the square ones with the big fittings that you put on the back. I haven't shown you the engine, but I will get some photos of that soon, next time I'm at the workshop. And I prefer the original look, so I got mine cleaned up and powder coated red on the sides and the cam covers, but I'll still keep the black on the actual coil pack cover, so it'll have that black and red theme running throughout the car. As you'll see, as I've started out with the brakes, you got the big red Brembos in there behind these Siakwami Ultimates. So that'll start going together in the next few weeks. You might not see another video for a while. I'll do another video when I strip out the interior and you can have a look at what it looks like there, and I'll sort of talk through what I'm going to do to fix it up and get it back together while I'm doing that. But I might have a week or two off. I do have exams. I'm doing some studying at the moment, so there might be a bit of a gap between this and my next video. But I'll keep putting pictures up on Instagram to keep you up to date with anything else that I might have picked up. I've picked up some parts recently to try and fix a few little things that are bothering me. I'm really trying to get this to close to a stock standard, and everything working smoothly and neatly back again, sort of vehicle, but not over the top, not showroom condition, but looking nice, looking clean, working well, and having a decent power to have some fun as well. So I'll get that all together, and you'll see what I'm up to with all these different parts I'm picking up as well. And hopefully it'll look a bit neater as well, being in the workshop, so you won't have to stare at my ugly bins in the background. And as you can see, most of the storm has passed, and there was quite a bit of rain and lightning before. You can see sort of all the leaf debris and stuff like that. So being in a workshop will be a lot nicer than working under a carport in the sun. That's why I got that shade cloth up there, and be a bit cooler, a bit more comfortable, a bit more professional, and give me more incentive to jump in this and get this project going, so that the body and the interior will be to a pretty good standard before I start the engine transplant towards the end of the year, or more likely the start of next year and all that. So thanks for watching, and follow me on Instagram to keep everything else updated. Thanks guys, see ya.